Thank you, Speaker. It's a pleasure to speak on the motion moved by the member for Curran, and I want to thank the member speaking to the motion for her passion on this issue. I also want to acknowledge all the previous contributions by many of our members. Three-year-old kindergarten is a signature social policy reform of the Andrews Labor government. By pushing forward with this reform, Victoria is leading the nation in early childhood education and building the education state. Clearly, international studies consistently show long-term benefits for children who attend 2 years of kindergarten over a single year of attendance. 2 years of high-quality, teacher-led kindergarten program have been shown to improve academic and long-term life outcomes for children. A central tenet of this reform is that providing children with quality early childhood education will set them up for healthy, happy, fulfilling lives and successful lifelong learning. Universal rather than targeted kindergarten will better support all children, especially those experiencing the most disadvantaged. This reform has the potential to not only change the trajectory of children's lives, but also to effect broader positive change at a population level. It will create jobs through two principal means: additional early childhood teachers and educators, and jobs created as a result of infrastructure investment. And those jobs will be local jobs, which is extremely important after the COVID pandemic. The government commitment to universal three-year-old kindergarten is a game changer. The benefits will be felt for generations to come. At full rollout by 2029, three-year-old children across the state will have access to 15 hours of subsidised kindergarten program every week for 40 weeks each year. Potentially around 90,000 children could benefit from this reform each year, and that is amazing. We began that work with $881.6 million to deliver 2 years of quality subsidised kindergarten to all Victorian three-year-old children. From this year, up to 15 hours of a kindergarten program for three-year-olds will be introduced in 6 local government areas, and they are South Gippsland, Bulogue, Hindmarsh, Northern Grampians, Strathbogie and Yarriambiack. In 2021, we will introduce three-year-old kindergarten in another 15 government areas, and they are in Alpine, Ararat, Campaspe, Central Goldfields, Colac Otway, Corangamite, East Gippsland, Glenelg, Hepburn, Indigo, Loddon, Murrindindi, Southern Grampians, Toowong and West Wimmera. The achievements over the last 6 months are constructing 9 new state-of-the-art modular kindergarten buildings, allowing us to be responsive where there is the greatest demand, launching the Building Blocks Infrastructure Strategy and Grants Program, making strides with the state-wide assessment of every kindergarten and long daycare facility regarding their existing capacity, with visits to more than 80% of Victoria's 2,700 kindergarten services having been completed on schedule. And for the workforce, as of June this year, 1,000 offers of financial support to eligible students studying an early childhood teaching qualification. We've also funded 250 kindergarten service providers with grants to help support almost 600 provisionally registered teachers achieve full registration with the Victorian Institute of Teaching. We have established early childhood professional practice partnerships between 4 universities and early childhood service providers that deliver a kindergarten program to enable leading practice in initial teacher education. This means the creation of more than 4,000 new early childhood teacher jobs and 2,000 new educator jobs by 2029. More people are needed to train to become early childhood teachers and educators to meet the growing demand. And of course, along with this, we've provided new free TAFE courses. This year, 2 courses to train people to become early childhood educators were added to the free TAFE course list. Certificate 3 in Early Childhood Education and Care and the Diploma of Early Childhood Education and Care are now available tuition fee-free for eligible students. And of course, there's financial support to study and work in early childhood. In addition, the Victorian Government has committed $92.4 million over 5 years to support the early childhood education workforce, which includes financial support for people to study to become degree qualified early childhood teachers. Every early childhood job has one thing in common: the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of children and their families. Of course, this infrastructure, the 3-year-old kindergarten, will result in the largest expansion of kindergarten infrastructure in the state's history. It is estimated that the sector will need almost 1,000 new or expanded kindergarten facilities. We're working in partnership with all sectors and services to build, expand and improve early years infrastructure across the board. To deliver this monumental commitment, we'll be investing almost 1,000 new and expanded kindergarten facilities across the next decade. In the latest budget included $473.2 million for early childhood infrastructure. That included $283 million in capital funding to support increased capacity to deliver kindergarten programs for 3-year-olds. $156.6 million to be provided in the form of infrastructure grants, funding in partnership with the sector through a co-contribution model. And $33.6 million will be invested in the Children's Facilities Capital Program to build, upgrade and improve existing early years facilities. Every new Victorian primary school set to open from 2021 will have a kindergarten on site or next door, reducing the burden on parents and helping to build the education state. There'll be 10 primary schools set to open in 2021 and all 6 opening in 2022 will have a kindergarten either on site or next door. And I know in my electorate, down at the Amesbury Station Primary School, which is currently under construction, which is down in quite an isolated area of the Melton electorate, its first and only school, the primary school, is also having an early learning centre constructed. And I was to go out and do a sod turning event back on the 25th of March this year for the early learning centre, and unfortunately due to the COVID pandemic, that event was cancelled, but that early learning centre is well under construction now, and I'm pleased to say it'll be ready for the 2021 year. And the benefits of co-located kinders, building co-located kindergarten facilities on or next to school sites provides many benefits for Victorian families, including making kindergarten programs easier to access, drop-off time simpler and more convenient, transitions to kindergarten programs and schools smoother for children. Having kindergarten facilities and schools on the same site also helps create a hub that benefits the whole community. And the example at the Amesbury Station Primary School and Early Learning Centre is a prime example of that. As I say, it's down in quite an isolated area away from the main area of the Melton electorate. Young children learn about the world through play. It gives children the opportunity to use their imagination and practice important skills. It also helps their social and emotional development and well-being. In a kindergarten program, children use play to build their language skills and learn about numbers and patterns. They also learn how to get along with others, to share, to listen, and to manage their emotions. Teachers and educators help children become curious, creative, and confident about learning. I've previously stated here that we are the education state. And of course, we on this side of the House well know that education doesn't just start when you dress our kids up in their uniforms on their first day of school to start prep. We know that an early childhood education is essential to give every child the best start they need in their education journey. This is important for all children, but of course particularly important in our diverse multicultural community of Victoria. Giving children from migrant and refugee families, like the many families in my electorate of Melton, a quality early childhood education helps those children have the best start in preparation for their primary school education and beyond. It can also help their parents and caregivers connect and be part of their wider community. Often in a preschool or childcare environment, parents of many cultures interact with others as their children form friendships and connections that cross cultural barriers. Parents whom were born in the Sudan talk and interact with another parent whose family traced their heritage in Australia back a number of generations at a birthday party of their children's friend whose parents emigrated from Vietnam. The first steps of truly multicultural societies come from understanding others, the seeds of which are often sown when our children start in early education. And one of the great events that I attended last year was the opening of the extension of the Al Iman College Kindergarten. It was a fantastic event. They made us all very welcome, and they were so pleased with the extension of that kindergarten, and their ambition is to grow the population in that kindergarten. I have many early learning centres in my electorate, and I'd commend this motion to the House. Thank you.